Your morning is not a routine, it's a signal. It's normal to feel trapped in the morning haze, unfocused, fogged, half alive. But if you're watching this, you've already taken the first step. Because the first 5 minutes of your day, they don't just wake you up, they tell your nervous system who's in charge. Most people start slow. They roll over, check their phone, negotiate with comfort, and call it easing in. But let's be honest, that's not self-care, that's silent surrender. And every morning you repeat it. You tell yourself the same quiet lie. I don't lead my life. I react to it. This video isn't about waking up at 4 a.m. It's not about routines with 15 steps and green smoothies. It's about building something deeper. Inner power. Fast, not the kind that looks good, the kind that holds steady when everything shakes. That type of power is built in the first 5 minutes. Before the world touches you, before doubt even has a chance to speak. You don't need more time, you need a system. One that's clean, fast, and forged in identity. This is not a hack. This is not hype. This is the 5-minute inner armor protocol, and it starts now.
Most people don't start their mornings. They escape them. From the second the alarm hits, they're already making trades. 5 more minutes. Just one scroll. I'll start slow today. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The way you start is the way you show up. If you begin your day by obeying hesitation, your body learns to follow hesitation, not you. And that small, invisible moment, it echoes into your discipline, your voice, your pace. You question your instincts. You move slower. You hesitate longer. Not because you're lazy, but because your morning taught you to be passive. You didn't choose that mood. It chose you because you didn't install anything stronger. Mornings don't have to be perfect. They have to be intentional. Because if the first thing you do is avoid discomfort, your nervous system gets fluent in avoidance, and everything after that becomes heavier. You don't need motivation. You need a command, a signal that says, I lead, I decide, I act. And once you send that signal, your brain stops looking for comfort and starts following your lead. Now, let's install that signal. You don't need an hour. You need 5 minutes that hit like a decision. This isn't a routine. It's a protocol, one you can run anywhere. No equipment, no noise, no excuses. It has 3 parts. Each one locks a layer of control into place, like snapping on armor, before the first battle bell even rings. Step 1. Instant shift sit-up. Breathe sharp and deep. Stand. Splash cold water on your face. Drop into the ground for 10 seconds. It's primal. It's physical. You're not waking up. You're snapping into command. 1 breath, 1 move, 1 instant message to your body. I lead today. And with that breath, your first piece of armor clicks into place. STEP2. Identity trigger. Now speak. Look forward. Say it out loud. I act before I feel ready. I lead with clarity, not comfort. I don't stall. I start. You're not chanting for hype. You're programming your nervous system. Because your brain doesn't follow motivation. It follows repetition. Every morning you say it, your identity sharpens, and the old hesitation fades. This is voice as code. And that second phrase, that's your helmet. Step 3. Power anchor. Now move. Fast. Hard. Clean. Do 10 push-ups. Hold a 1-minute plank. Make your bed with precision. You're not doing it to burn calories. You're doing it to build belief. That's the strike. The hit that knocks hesitation off balance. I remember the first time I tried this. Half awake. Mind foggy. I did 10 push-ups at 5 a.m. They felt pointless. But by day 3, something clicked. I wasn't stalling anymore. That discipline, that built vision. Vortex. This entire protocol takes 5 minutes. That's it. But the signal it sends, it lasts 15 hours. It's not a routine. It's a ritual. A personal reset. Shift. Declare. Anchor. That's the system. That's the 5-minute inner armor protocol.
But here's the truth most people avoid. If you can't own 5 minutes, how will you ever lead 8 hours? This isn't about productivity, it's about proof. You're not just building a habit, you're rehearsing how to respond to resistance, to fear, to delay. One powerful morning can shift your day. But a repeated morning, that shifts who you are. We've been told identity is something you find. It's not. It's something you install. Through action, through pattern, through armor built brick by brick, because confidence isn't built by shouting affirmations. It's built by doing what your hesitation says you won't, until it shuts up. Think about it, one breath with force, one phrase with clarity, one move without permission. That's not a morning routine. That's dominance training. The greats know this. Athletes, warriors, Stoics, they don't rise to meet the day. They train to bend it to their pace. They don't start when it's easy. They start when it's hardest. So everything else feels light by comparison. What you repeat becomes what you trust. So, if your mornings repeat weakness, you'll default to it when the pressure hits. But if you rehearse power first thing, every day becomes reinforcement. You stop reacting and start leading. That's how inner armor is forged.
We've been sold a soft version of the morning. Soft music, a warm cup, a calm, scroll through inspiration. But let's be honest, peace doesn't come from stillness. It comes from power, from knowing that before anyone asked you for anything, you already conquered something hard. Peace isn't the absence of chaos. It's the presence of capability. Your morning doesn't need to be aesthetic. It needs to be controlled. Because when the first 5 minutes belong to you, the rest of the day bends to your rhythm. That's what this protocol is. Not a checklist, but a system that forges identity, that builds inner armor while the world's still sleeping. Jocko takes the picture of his watch at 4:30 a.m. Not for likes, but to remind himself and us that the war starts before the world even stirs. Goggins doesn't run before dawn for fitness. He runs then, because resistance screams loudest in silence. And that's exactly where self-respect is born. And the Stoics, they never waited for perfect conditions. They trained their minds to respond, not react. As Seneca said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Start your morning with that power. Don't chase calm, don't chase readiness. Chase activation, because once you've shifted your state, spoken your truth, and moved with force, you're not waiting to feel powerful. You've already become it.
Your morning doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be yours. Not reactive, not borrowed, not dictated by emotion or delay. 5 minutes, 3 moves, 1 internal message. I shift my state. I speak who I am. I act without permission. That's not a habit. That's a ritual. A signal system, an installation of identity. This is how inner power begins. Before the noise, before the inbox, before the world can even touch you, you don't need an extra hour. You need 5 minutes that armor your mind. The first breath, that's your ignition. The first phrase, that's your shield. The first clean win, that's your brick. And with every brick, your identity becomes a fortress. Strong, sharp, untouched by hesitation. So right now, before this video ends, do 10 push-ups, or say your identity line out loud. 1 act, 5 minutes. Start now. Then, say it out loud or in the comments. This is who I am now. Comment, I start with power. Like this, if you're done letting mornings define your weakness. Share this with someone who's still stalling before sunrise. Subscribe for weekly rewiring. No fluff, just fire.
This is Vision Vortex, your space where clarity meets transformation. Subscribe and return each week to sharpen the mind and strengthen the soul.